The May 9th, 2017 meeting of the New Durham Zoning Board of Adjustment to order. Tonight, on my left, is Attorney Whitelaw for Town Council, ZBA alternate David Shigori, ZBA regular member Stephanie Richards, and at the end is ZBA regular member Joan Martin. Where alternate Shigori started this case, can't hear, one, give me the microphone. Wave your hand.
Can't hear you, Terry.
I'll start at the beginning. Call the meeting of November 9th, 2017 of the New Durham Zoning Board of Adjustment to order. On my left is Attorney Whitelaw, who is Town Council. I am Chair Teresa Jarvis. To my right is alternate David Shigori. Next to him is regular member Stephanie Richards, and at the far end is regular member Joan Martin. Since alternate member Shigori started hearing this case last month, he will continue until the end of the case. First item on our agenda is to review the minutes of the April 7th, 2017 meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment. I will go through these page by page. Page 1, any edits? Under call to order, second line, Chair Anderson appointed David Shigori as a full member. Mrs. Anthony was not present on the 7th.
No, where does it say Mrs. Anthony's?
Under call to order, second line.
It says Chair Anderson.
These are old minutes.
Excuse me, my mistake. I had the wrong minutes. What I was reading from was the September 7th meeting minutes. They will not be renewed tonight because we do not have a majority of the city members that were present at that meeting. Yeah, do the 7th. Let's go to the 7th, which I thought I was looking at. Page 1, any edits, corrections, or omissions? Page 2.
Just that one.
Okay.
Just one correction in the, I don't know which paragraph it is, but where it says Ms. Shigori, it should be Mr.
Under elections of officers, please change that to Mr. Shigori. Anything else on page 2? Page 3. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Make a motion to accept them. Second. I make a motion to accept the minutes
As amended?
as amended. Second.
A motion was made by Mrs. Martin, seconded by Mrs. Richards, to accept the minutes as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 4-0. The next set of minutes we will look at is April 11th, 2017. We will start with page 1. At the top of the page, we eliminate the word elementary. The name of this school is the New Durham School. And then under present was also Tom Varney, who is the applicant's representative. And coming to the first large paragraph under permit application, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down to the 4th line that begins with Winnipesaukee Country Club. It should say, Chair Jarvis disclosed that at one time she was the fire inspector, etc. And then at the end of the sentence of the Lake Winnipesaukee Golf Course, because it's already in there. The next paragraph, first line, the board reviewed the application to determine if it is complete. Anything else on page 1? Page 2. In the large paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 lines from the bottom. The line begins with ordinance. Ordinance regulating does not need a comma.
You want to go back a little bit?
Yep.
In the first paragraph, where it designated the lot we're talking about, it says a lot currently zoned agricultural and residential. It should be agricultural, recreational, residential.
Okay. Any other additions or edits on page 2? Page 3. Page 3. Page 4. The fourth paragraph from the bottom. The sixth line from the bottom. The sentence begins 2:15. It should read, he stated during the presentation tonight that materials will be trucked in from Ossipee. Delete the phrase, they were also noted. He stated during the presentation tonight that materials would be trucked in from Ossipee. You go to the third line from the bottom, all the way over to the right. It should read, leaving the site if they go towards Middleton. Anything else on page 4? Page 5.
Just an editorial.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth line up from the bottom, an editorial change is they've not had it, it says they have not had a chance, it should be instead of change, to fully review the documents of the presentations.
Okay. Anything else on page 5? Page 6. Second paragraph, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sixth line down, the line begins with, and improve the property from what it was. That sentence should end there, and then the new sentence will begin, there will be significant change. Okay. An improved property from what it was, period, delete the word with, and then add, there will be significant change. The next paragraph, the first sentence at the very right, we should add of New Durham, so that we know that some of our abutters are from Wolfeboro and some are from New Durham. So we would simply say, the Hatfields of Wolfeboro and the Buells of New Durham. Additional edits to page 6. Page 7. Third paragraph down, second sentence. The line begins with distributed packets, which included a stormwater prevention. We need to add the word document. That is the third paragraph down.
Was it called a stormwater prevention plan?
That plan is better.
Okay.
Sounds fine by me. That would read distributed package which included a stormwater prevention plan. Anything else on page 7? Page 8.
In the paragraph where the motion is made, Ms. Richards
What
should...
page?
Last page.
Okay.
No S in Richards. That's the only one I see, but...
Any other edits? Additions, deletions?
That same on page 3.
Hmm?
That same comment on page 3.
Is
It's
it
the second full paragraph, right?
is
at the
it
beginning.
a spelling error?
Yeah.
Just an S.
Laura, want to correct the spelling for Ms. Richards all the way through?
It's right in the beginning, so...
Yeah, they got it right there.
Is there a motion on the minutes of part 1 of the meeting of April 11th?
I move they be accepted as... I'll move they be accepted as amended.
Is there a second?
I'll second that
Okay,
motion.
there's a motion by Mr. Shigori, seconded by Mrs. Martin to accept the minutes of part 1 of the April 11th, 2017 zoning board meeting as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes 4-0. We will now look at the part 2 minutes of the April 11th meeting. The same comment on the header, delete the word elementary. Any edits on page 1? Want to use mine? No edits on page 1. Are there any edits on page 2?
Sorry, it's like halfway through the large paragraph, and it says the property is zoned residential. We should probably put the actual zone, like we discussed in the last one, agricultural, recreational, residential.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. It's 9 and 10 lines down, and the property is zoned residential, agriculture, and recreational. Any other corrections on page 1? Page 2. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the second half of the April 11th, 2017 minutes as amended.
Is there a second? Okay, the motion by Mrs. Martin, seconded by Mr. Shiguri, to accept the minutes of Part 2 of the April 11th, 2017 Zoning Board of Adjustment meeting as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Before we move forward, we do need to address one issue. Back in December, the planning, the planning board had declared the application to the planning board from Green Oaks as a development of regional interest. I did not realize that that we couldn't just accept that designation. We do need to make a motion that the New Durham Zoning Board of Adjustment acknowledges that the New Durham Planning Board voted on December 6th, 2016, that this property is a development of regional impact under RSA 36, and therefore the New Durham Zoning Board of Adjustment had issued notice at their April 11, 2017 public hearing. And that would be a motion. Is there a second, and then we can discuss it? Okay. Stephanie seconds. I thought that because it had been declared a regional impact by the planning board, it automatically applied to any other group in New Durham hearing it. And at the hearing in April, I just went along talking about it being a regional impact, and that we had the reports from Stratford Regional Planning Commission and Lakes Region Planning Commission. But we need to cover the technicality of saying, we acknowledge that it was already declared regional impact, and we're going to move forward, continuing to move forward as regional impact, because we have already considered those reports and asked questions. Does that explain the issue? Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? As I mentioned, the reports from both Stratford Regional Planning Commission and Lakes Region Planning Commission are part and parcel of the file, and we will be considering their questions and input when we do our discussions. The next is addressed to Mr. Varney. Mrs. Vice Chair Anderson is absent tonight due to a family conflict. She has indicated that she will review the tape of the meeting before our next meeting. Does the applicant wish to continue tonight with 4 members present and 1 watching the video at a later date, or would you like to continue the public hearing until next month? Because the applicant has the right to have 5 people present.
We would like to continue the meeting. We need to have 5 people here. We don't want to have a hearing missing 1 person.
I didn't hear the end of it. And since it's being videotaped, do you want to use a microphone?
We would like to continue the meeting because we want to have a decision by 5 members that are here in the room. And we'd be happy to continue this to the next meeting.
Okay. The applicant wishes to continue the meeting when all 5 members of the board are present, correct?
Yes.
Okay, then I would make a motion to continue the public hearing for case number 2017-001, Green Oaks LLC request for a special exemption until our next regularly scheduled meeting, June 13th, 2017. The meeting will occur at either the New Durham School or the New Durham Community Room if we cannot get the school. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been seconded by Stephanie Richards. Any discussion? It will be 7 o'clock. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes 4-0. Please check the town website. I believe it will be here at the school, but once again, we have to make sure that the room's available to us. I just don't want to assume. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next month.
The 13th.
13th.
Take up the request for, submitted by Thomas Barney on behalf of Chris and Karen Charette. And this is a request for variances to Article 6, Section C3A1, Article 14. It is listed as Section 1C, but there might be a I believe there's a typographical error. It is also Article 14, Section C1B, Article 20, Section C1, C2, E2B. Now, Mr. Barney, I know that we had indicated we didn't think we would get to this case tonight. Once we declare the application complete, if you would like to postpone it until June, we will certainly entertain that. And this case will be heard first in June if you postpone till June. But before.
I'd like to talk about that aspect if I could.
Yeah. Well, let's see if the application is complete first. Okay. Have the members had time to review the application? Other than the possibility that there is a typographical error on page 4 of our package in regards to Article 14. Are there any other items that would indicate that the application was incomplete? Ms. Martin, like, you're at the end, I can't see you. You don't have any reason to feel that the application is incomplete? Yeah.
Now, where is the
Okay.
page 4?
Okay, page 4 of the package, the top of page 4 says, Section 3, application for a variance. And when you look, and that particular section is the Shorefront Conservation Overlay District. When you look at the ordinance, they all begin with a letter. This request begins with a number. So, Mr. Varney, if you would like to come here, I could show you what I'm referencing. This is section 4, 1C. And I think what you meant to say was C1C. That it would be the dimensional requirements speaking about a leach field setback, but I don't want to make a decision without your input.
That's not it.
No? This is the area I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is different from what you asked for before. You asking for the same ones again, Tom?
No,
No.
it's about the septic tank, only. These rules are different. I don't think so.
Just what they asked for last time.
Because we might have to go back and
I guess you need to know what he's actually applying.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, it's not gonna be C1C.
The general provisions,
Referring to
that's,
Oh, I see, I'm on the
6
wrong.
C3.
Yeah, I was checking that.
That's what that's these.
Yeah, okay.
That might be what you're thinking about.
3A1.
Yeah.
Okay,
3C, 3A1,
yeah, that's the one we need. Okay,
125 foot.
this is setback, that should be setback, so. I'm going for 1. Building setback, that would be
I
1D.
don't want to reject the application for that.
You know, I think that should be B.
You decide what it should be and we'll then add it.
I'm only asking for 2 things, it's the setback, 75 feet, and septic tank.
Yeah, because one is Article 6 and the other is Article 14.
That should be the B. Behind your application.
Well, see, last time he asked for 14 and 20.
I don't, Dave has the old application, I don't have it. I don't use it. I like them.
Mrs. Coach, I have a question for you. Because they just passed some ordinances. I wonder if it's messed up the numbers.
Oh, I don't know.
The ordinances that we passed at town meeting, would they have affected the numbers for this?
They might have, and those, that isn't signed until the public.
Oh, is that why I couldn't find it?
So I could be looking at something
I
different.
tried finding it online, because I didn't have.
Ordinances that were passed in March. Mr. Viney has not. If it's all right with the board members and with council, because it's an error, but it's not. It's an error because the voters voted. I would like to give him the opportunity to find the correct variance numbers and determine that. And the first thing we do at the next meeting is determine that the application is complete if we get the revised ordinance numbers. Because you're gonna catch 22 because we voted. So we would hold off on declaring the application complete pending getting the new variance request.
There were changes adopted in March. He submitted his application after those were adopted.
Right, but they had not been made public.
Right. The planning board hadn't decided where they would put them in. The overlay district was agreed to at public at then they had the ordinances and the signature page was not the same.
And then they were recently made public? When were they made public? Have they been made? Oh, they're still haven't been made public.
That's where we are. To show that the signature page. Okay, but the application was submitted after there was notice of.
Where is it?
So what you're telling me was is that they were adopted by town meeting. The zoning ordinance changes, so they're in effect. Well, the planning board just hasn't figured out what summer they're going to be. What they did, but they have now.
Just let me know that.
So the planning board decided where in the ordinance to adopt.
And when did they do that? 2 weeks ago?
Don't they have to do that on the ballot? I think they have to designate what they're changing. Just like we were putting on the ballot that day.
And we're on overlay 2017.
Because I think the 2017 are in effect.
Yeah.
The statute says even though they haven't been filed, where there's a like is supposed to be filed in the town clerk, you're still valid. So I think they're still valid, which just means that you need to look at, I don't know if there are any substantive changes or whether the issue here is just the numbers.
Yeah, well, the whole chapter numbers have changed.
Right, chapter numbers are there, but has the substance ever changed at all? Except for the adding of the, is that affecting? Okay.
What I would suggest is
No
that,
matter where you're at.
yeah, but if they picked up a copy of the 2017, and then we could translate from the 2015 numbers to the 2017 numbers, because we're all going to be working off the 2017 ordinances, and I don't honestly believe that's a reason to reject the application. I was just saying, we're going to do a complete at the next meeting.
Because you are saying to the board, you want a variance from a 125-foot edge of the water setback for the septic system, and you want a variance from the 75-foot building setback from the high water line. Specific ordinance numbers to be determined.
Or we could do the complete,
Yeah.
I would make a motion to accept the application 2017-002 from Chris and Karen Surratt for property located at map 110, lot 23, pending verification and correction of the specific ordinance numbers. Is there a second? Mrs. Richards, second. Is there discussion?
Specifically state they're asking for a setback.
Specifically, what is being requested is they have a residential home 100 feet from the lake frontage rather than the 125 feet as required. They are requesting a residential home. They want a septic tank to be less than 125 feet from the lake, because it will be 77 feet. They are also requesting that the house will be 38 feet from the lake, and the garage will be 74 feet from the lake, both of which are closer to the lake than allowed. Any other questions or discussions or suggestions? All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. I believe you wanted to make some comments about the next meeting.
Yeah, the Charettes called me this morning to say they wanted to know if they were going to be on the agenda tonight and what was going to happen, and I really didn't know. So I asked Laura, and she said, no, you wanted to go with Green Oak first. And the Charettes said, I don't want to drive 3 hours to sit there till 10 o'clock and it gets postponed. So I called back and, I talked to them. They said, well, we'd like to continue it. So you go to another meeting, how does this going to work? I can't tell them. This business of what they're asking for is important to them because they've sold their house and they're trying to make improvements. And they wanted to come last month, and they're edgy about this month, and now I can tell them next month, but it's got to be open for them.
It's my intention, unless the board or the council feels it's not appropriate, because we had given you information that said they would not get, the application would be accepted, but they would not get heard. It would be my intention to put their application first in June.
Okay.
Unless I need to see what the board thinks about it and if council has any problems with it.
Legally, we can, but we need to notify the other police.
Okay, legally, yes, we legally can, and what we would do is that we would post the agenda, and the Charette case would be posted first, the continued public hearing would be posted second, and since Mr. Viney represents both of them, I suspect he can pass the word on to Mr. Val.
Sure, yeah.
That we're going to, out of fairness, we're going to hear this case first.
Yeah.
And I certainly think that the Charette case will be much shorter.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, if it goes, it's
But
too.
again, I've been wrong so far for each meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, so they would go first. That's your final answer, I guess, right? Yeah.
So go first.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay? All right. Should the situation arise again that all 5 members are not able to be physically present, if we know about it in advance, would you like Ms. Zusko to notify you?
Yes,
And then you would simply be requesting a postponement?
yes.
Thank you. Mr. Marty, will the Charettes be requesting a full board?
Yes.
And they'll be requesting 5 members also?
Yeah, that's how we have to do it that way. We learned otherwise, so we're not doing it the other way.
One member and one alternate have already said that they would be stepping down due to potential conflicts.
Yeah.
So it would be this board plus Ms. Anderson. Okay?
Yep.
Anything else to come before the board tonight? I didn't take a motion to adjourn.
After Kathy Orwitz talked to us last time about the Dewey House, I had talked to her about trying to help her out a little bit with myself / the company I work for, and I don't know how that fits into, her and I had sort of discussed, because, that's going to end up being sort of a conflict of interest. I don't know if I should be involved with that at all, if I can just step down during hearings. I just don't want to put this down in a weird position.
I think it would be wisest to step down from that application, because she could certainly benefit from your assistance and your company's assistance, and either Mr. Hoover, if he is here that night, or Mr. Vaslavicus would sit along with Mr. Shigori.
Okay. And just stepping down is enough to hold us?
Yeah, all you would do is when we would bring the case up, and I would say, does anybody have a conflict? You would indicate that you have a conflict, and you would be responsible for moving away from the table, but you can still sit in the audience and you can comment as a citizen. But you physically have to move away from the table.
Just can't move.
Okay, that's fine, yeah, I just wanted to make sure that stepping down was enough.
Yes, that's plenty. Okay. Anything else? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion from Joe Martin to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by David Chiguri. In that motions to adjourn are non-debatable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 7:43.